Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we're going to be looking at some updates regarding Hasan Piker and some of his strongest orbiters who are currently engaged in a multi-day campaign going after content creators like Emiru and Asmongold. And we're looking at some more attacks coming from his orbiter Denims towards Emiru for simply not wanting to be political in her streams. And then Hasan will take it a step further by shaming Emiru for her connections to problematic people like Asmongold. And then he'll go a step further and say that Asmongold needs to be permabanned off of Twitch for his continuous violations of their TOS. Can you say pot calling the kettle black? I mean, no self-awareness in this man whatsoever. So, quick recap of what we talked about a few days ago. Emiru, a very popular streamer, comes out with this clip here basically saying, if you need opinions about ICE or other political matters, why are you talking to streamers like me? Go find someone who's more qualified. A totally normal and rational thing to say, by the way. But, of course, enter one of the biggest Hasan orbiters, Denims TV. She was very upset about this, so upset that she is pushing aside the current copyright infringement lawsuit she is facing from Ethan Klein to rile up some more fights. And she came out with this post quoting the previous clip, calling Emiru a racist chud. Amazing stuff. Now, it might not shock you at all, but Hasan Piker joined in on the campaign going after Emiru while claiming to, not say she's a bad person, but of course say, basically, she's a bad person because of her associations with problematic people, including, take a guess, Asmongold.
That's not just consuming at that point, it's supporting and regurgitating her to her apolitical audience. Her audience is not apolitical. Her audience is right wing. Let's be fucking real. And she is performing to an audience. Like I said, I think it is the financial pressures of having an audience that is comprised almost entirely of Asmongold's biggest fucking dipshit warriors is the major reason as to why she's not revealing her perspective on ICE or until she got yelled at. From where I'm standing, though, I don't think Emiru's a bad person in general, but she is actually very comfortable and very, directly aligned and financially entangled with actual bad people. I will say that about Asmongold. Asmongold's a bad person.
So besides joining in on this harassment campaign that started with Denims, Hasan tries to create guilt by association. He's basically saying because you're around people like Asmongold, you're not a very good person, or that reflects negatively on you. And I think it is incredibly desperate. It's a desperate reach, but it's incredibly ironic coming from him. Think about all of the problematic people that Hasan associates with. Think about his orbit, which is filled with people who say crazy, racist, anti-Semitic, violent threats, among many other things, to content creators and other people who simply disagree with them or criticize them. And again, guilt by association, brother, you're literally friends with an active terrorist. What are you talking about? You platform this guy and he's still simping for you all the time. You've never disavowed anything this guy's doing. In fact, you glazed him up in this interview because he watched One Piece. I mean, it's absolutely insane. But something very interesting happened. A clip would resurface from Denims TV, which proves that these people, they don't believe in anything they say. These are the legitimate grifters who change their opinions on the fly to try to get more viewers or to adapt to changing times. And Denims was caught with this old clip where she's dunking on Hasan.
Everyone on the left is so socially woke that they feel like they can't possibly be wrong. Point in case, Hasan. Like, if Hasan thinks he's morally more virtuous than someone else, he just flames them. I'm forgetting the word I wanted to use, but he just flames them. Like, he doesn't actually make any genuine good faith arguments towards other people. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't give people any amount of benefit of the doubt. He just starts railing on people.
Yeah, so we hear all the time the words grifter or hypocrite. This is a grifter and a hypocrite. This is someone who over the past couple of years has completely done a 180 on her opinion of Hasan and really with her opinions generally. She made a correct observation. I don't know what happened to her, but she made a correct observation here, pointing out that he doesn't make genuine good faith arguments towards people. He just relies on personal attacks and other hollow attempts to engage with people. She was entirely right. But then she does a 180, clearly to keep an audience or grow her audience. There's no other explanation for being such a blatant hypocrite on the subject, because Hasan, in this regard, I could say he hasn't changed. No, I think he's gotten worse in this regard. So yeah, it's very obvious hypocrisy here, but there's the other element here. Dragging in Asmongold. We briefly talked about this the other day. It wasn't good enough to go after Emiru. Denims was also using this as an opportunity to drag in her friend Asmongold, who obviously is defending not only his friend, but also himself from all of these personal attacks from Denims and alike. But she is reveling in the attention. In fact, she really thinks she's got Asmongold like on lock, like she has owned him completely. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Just listen to the crazy stuff she is saying.
At this point, he would have made a bunch of jokes.
Yes.
He would have smeared my character. He would have smeared it by saying like, well, who even cares what this person, everybody knows.
Well, nobody cares what you think. That's the reason why you're talking about people who people.
Oh, what's that you're doing right now? Exactly what I said you would do if you weren't mad. Because I'm reading you like a book, so now you have to prove that you're not mad by doing what I said. Okay, good doggy. Now bark. Now roll over.
People do care what they think. You're a worthless nobody, and you always be a worthless nobody.
Oh, and what's that?
That's why you have to sell.
Insulting me. Okay, now good dog. Now bark. Sit. Good dog.
Of yourself to pay for your lawsuit because you were too stupid to understand fair use. You're worthless. You'll always be worthless.
Oh
doesn't
no,
matter.
another person calling me a whore. My life is ruined. No. But the funny thing about this is that to prove that he's not mad, that he's super not mad about Emiru, he's doing what I said that he normally would do if he wasn't mad, because I read him to filth. And he has no response, so he has to prove how not mad he is by saying, no, I'm not mad. See, I'm so not mad that I'm going to do all the things that you just told me that I wouldn't do if I wasn't mad. I'm proving it to you right now. I'm proving it to you right now. See, this is how not mad I am. I did exactly what you told me to. Now, can I get a treat?
What else do you say? First of all, like, ew, the way she's talking, and, you know, pretty ironic she's using this dog-related language when she's the one who's denying that Hasan ever shocked his dog. But yeah, people just point out that Denims brings nothing to the table, and she should be very thankful, by the way, that people like Emiru, they don't really want to be political, and they don't want to get any sort of flack from people like Denims, because when Denims goes after people like Emiru, people question Denims and her views even harder, which I don't think she really wants. She has a room temperature IQ. Everyone knows this. Her claim to fame is being a Hasan orbiter and selling her body on OnlyFans. And, you know, for someone who's facing a really tough hill with the copyright infringement lawsuits filed by Ethan Klein, you would think she'd be focusing on that and not picking fights and slandering very large content creators. And also keep in mind, Asmongold's been opening up lawsuits against multiple people or handling ones filed towards him. So he is lawyered up. And I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to go after people like this. But that's all for Denims. Much like her, Hasan and his obsession with Asmongold is not just creepy, but it's also hypocritical, because Hasan, in his infinite wisdom, has come out and called on Twitch to ban Asmongold. For what? His apparent and continuous violation of their terms of service.
40,000 people. 40,000 people in this community. We have to be more aggressive with these people, because you don't want to have them go around and bully and try to.
What's up, Twitch? Twitch, y'all seeing this? He's directly, I mean, how is this any different than what Aiden Ross got popped for? Okay.
Force them.
Other content creators see this shit, for the record. Okay. They see it. Twitch will give him a perma after the midterms? Nah, probably not. I mean, we'll see. His comeuppance will be inevitable, okay? Because once again, either he will turn around and retriangulate, which seemingly he's not doing right now. Okay? Or once it's over, once like the power is over, the power of this administration is over in ways that even like massive corporations can fucking recognize, at that point Twitch will get its balls back. Okay? At that point, Twitch will get its balls back and will realize, like, okay, we can actually take some punitive measures against this person, once again, who's a serial violator of the terms of service and has made this fucking platform uninhabitable, unsustainable, and incredibly toxic.
Like I said earlier, there's never been a man who's more hypocritical and lacking of self-awareness more than Hasan Piker. The guy who's constantly and blatantly violating Twitch's TOS is now turning to Asmongold and Twitch and saying, do something about this guy. Get rid of him. He has to be banned. Yeah, a desperate move. And also for those who are not familiar, his little YouTube project, his side project while he was briefly banned on Twitch for what, the 7th or 8th time. He was on YouTube streaming and he even admitted that was basically a failure. He wasn't getting the numbers, and he came out and said that basically he didn't like the split viewership because his numbers on Twitch fell because some people were going over to YouTube. And he's obsessed with appearances and numbers, so that just wouldn't fly. So he's back to exclusively streaming on Twitch so he can have bigger numbers and inflate his ego and, I guess, get some sleep at night, because those things are that important to Hasan. But anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.